Hello and welcome to another Next Gamer video. I'm Josh and this is Bioshock Infinite. The game came out on the 26th of March, I believe. I picked it up on like the 28th and it's around about an 8-hour campaign. Got a lot of extra stuff to do, like hidden stuff and throwbacks to the old Bioshocks 1 and 2 in Rapture. But it's set very differently. It's set in Colombia, a floating city in the sky, and is reasonably different. It's not as dark. It's got its moments where paradise goes horribly wrong and gradually becomes darker and darker, and it seems like a cultist kind of thing. And it's really interesting to play in this whole new world because the idea is there's different universes. So this is Bioshock Infinite is in a different universe to Bioshock 1, and I believe Bioshock 2 is in a different universe, just a parallel, like, where things happen differently, I believe. But as you can tell, I haven't played too much of I didn't play Bioshock 2, I missed it. Bioshock 1 I played a bit of, but I was reasonably young and didn't really enjoy it at that time. A bit too, yeah, I don't know how to say it, a bit scary for me. I don't know, because I really enjoyed this game and it makes me really want to go back and try Bioshock 1 again and see how the differences are, and it seems like an interesting story enough for me to go back to it, even if the mechanics are a bit drawn back to what they are now, where they're a bit more advanced. So I'm going to talk a bit about, in this video anyways, I'm going to talk a bit about the mechanics of the game, which are very interesting and different to most, what this game plays like, the combat, the graphic style, and how they've taken it. So the first thing that I want to say is it's got a steampunk feel, just like Bioshock 1 and 2, got an old kind of ring to it, set in 1912, which is 48 years, I believe, yeah, 48 years since the first one, before the first one, and that's 1912, and the first one was set in 1960. It's, as I said, set on a floating island in Colombia. There's a cultist kind of thing, where history's kind of being rewritten by this guy called Father Comstock, or the Prophet, as he's known, and you're basically trying to prove him wrong and get this girl out of the pit and bring her to these people that want her. So mechanics anyway. There are a few. There's a looting system where you just pick up people's on their dead bodies. You can just quickly grab their stuff. There's armor systems, like you just saw there, like shirts. You get a shirt, trousers, helmet, hat, and boots. That means you normally have you have 4 on you at once, but you can constantly get new stuff and change your gear and make comparisons. So it's quite easy to access towards and everything. Okay, so the next mechanic is Elizabeth, the woman who's your partner for the thing, who is a smart AI in the game. She's clever. You don't have to help her constantly. There's not like a mission where you go protect Elizabeth for 5 minutes and then move on to the next stage where you protect her again for another 10 minutes before you move on to the next stage. She's fully capable to handle herself, so you don't have to worry about her. She also finds loot for you, which is another interesting thing to do. So at the first core of the game, you're just exploring a bit and constantly trying to pick up stuff from trash cans and vending machines. But as the game goes on, you should start to do less and less of that, because you're relying more on Elizabeth to find you with stuff like salts to improve your vigors, which are powers that you get. You drink them and then you get a certain power. The first one's possession, which is a thing which allows you to not control, but for them to be on your side for a few minutes while you are fighting an enemy. The second one is Devil's Kiss, which is a like fire kind of thing. You throw fireballs at your hands. The third one is Shock Jockey's. I'm going to just randomly pick them off my fingers now. Shock Jockey, which is an electric one. Fourth, Bucking Bronco, I believe is what it's called, and it's like a it's like in Borderlands 2 with the siren. You phase lock them into the air like that. You just saw. Then there is this one I'm about to pick up, which is like this octopus kind of thing. It's like you control water and you can throw enemies back using that, or grab them and throw them towards you. There's this one called Charge, where you like charge at your enemies, kind of like whirlwind sprint in Skyrim. There is you're about to see the octopus one, and then whenever you do it, it's Undertow. There you go. When you do it, you get like this effect. It kind of like shows you like this. You're about to see where your hands. This is like the only dark kind of thing that happens in the game. There's a few like characters get darker and darker, and as you go into different universes, it starts to get darker. And there's always this little tutorial which kind of shows you what you can do with it, which are quite funny. They're like little olden day kind of short movies which are a bit stupid. Another one is Return to Sender, which is like this armor. So like you hold it down, and then anyone that's firing bullets at you, you can like repel back at them. Kind of like Magneto kind of effect from X-Men. There's a dark bit right there, I guess. So when I'm saying it's not that dark, it's reasonably dark, but that's only because you get into these different universes where the world becomes darker and darker. So as you like go into this paradise, all nice, and then slowly things start to go wrong and start to get darker and darker and darker until at the end it concludes as this really dark thing where you make a choice. Another mechanic is the skylines. As you're seeing now, a bit of gameplay of using the skylines and how effective they can be. There's two things you can do on these skylines. You can like as you're about to see, you can do a skyline attack and knock people off, or if people are following you, you can like do a skyline attack on them, which like knocks them off. So there you just saw the water, you just throw them off the edge. So anyway, we're going to continue with the gameplay. This mission is set. Oh, you're about to see where I knocked someone off, I believe. There you go. But this mission is 3/4 of the way through the campaign, and is to not spoil anything, you're just going to this factory to find a man, and then a few things start to go wrong, as you'll see. I do recommend, if you don't want any of the campaign ruined or any like few spoilers ruined, I suggest you don't really watch this. Towards the concluding bit, I'll tell you when you should stop. Really, if you love story and you love the campaigns of these kind of things, I suggest you stop watching when I tell you later in the video. So another mechanic is probably an important mechanic, which is the fighting in general. So like you have guns, you upgrade them through vending machines by getting money, which you find. The currency is called like silver eagles. Best to aim for headshots. Some guns later on, they seem a bit rubbish, like they seem to have ran out of ideas for guns, so we just redid it, just a bit more powerful, I believe. That's how I felt anyway towards the end. I normally stuck to the gun I'm using now, which is the carbine and the shotgun towards the end, which I found was quite effective against these really hard guys. And yeah, this gun's quite good for big guys. It's explosive kind of thing. But again, there's another retextured one, which is like this I can't remember the name anymore, but it's a bit like redundant kind of thing, using the same weapon, just a bit more powerful, or with like a different twist to it. It can be good if you enjoyed that weapon, but if you felt like you didn't really need it, it didn't really help, in my opinion. Another vigor is Man of the Crows, which is interesting. It's basically a ability that allows you to throw crows out of your hands into them, and that is kind of cool. So another mechanic, which is my favourite, is the tearing. So Elizabeth has this strange power that you don't really know about, where she can somehow manage to open tears in your universe into another, into your universe from another. So for example, she could you walk into an area, there's loads of bad guys, and then she goes, I can bring you in cover. You press a button. So for me it's an X. For I believe PS3 uses is square. Yeah, I don't know PC though. It may be F or something like that. But yeah, so you kind of have that, which for an example, it's you bring in cover. Another example would be you're low on health, so she can bring in a health box where you can just replenish all your health, or if you want to get to higher ground, you can get a freight hook, which is this thing that allows you to attach. You saw one of them, they're these little hook kind of things that you can hold on to, which is always good to use. My feelings towards the end of the game were I was really in awe of it. Very interesting how it played out. It's not like Bioshock 1 or 2 where there's 6 alternative endings. I believe they kind of explain it as there's basically one ending. You can make all these tiny decisions, but this is fate, this will happen. There is nothing you can do to stop what's about to happen. This point in time must happen no matter what, kind of thing. While Bioshock 2 and 1, it's a bit mysterious what's going on. So what you just saw there was a very dark bit in the scene. It's kind of this is the turning point with Elizabeth. So at the start she's this innocent girl that really doesn't know too much about the world, and then she starts to adapt. She becomes human basically. She starts to give in to feeling sorry for people and other things like that. She was a childish mind. So here's the free it's basically like Skyrim, where you have 3 choices of what you want to upgrade every time you level up, but it's every key moment you find these things. So you either have a health shield or salt increase. The salts are basically mana, if I didn't explain that earlier. Sorry about that. It plays out like Skyrim, where you upgrade it, you have a choice, and then you can upgrade it fully or whatever. Another thing is these things called voxophones, which are these little things that are audio recordings and everything. And then there's also the I'm gonna kill myself. It's Skepta thing, phones or something like that, and it basically is a little movie. And it's really interesting because you kind of see it in a whole new vision. So I'm about to bring this video to a close. I hope you liked it. I suggest picking this game up, and if you enjoyed my commentary, which was a bit rubbish today, I've been a bit off and ill, but it'd be nice if you could like or subscribe, or just leave a comment below. I don't really mind. So I hope you enjoyed watching. This was Bioshock Infinite, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.
Saw the moment of truth between us. New York or Paris?